Hey everyone, and welcome to the club, and welcome to another weekend art challenge. Today I'll be fusing Charizard from Pokemon with the Fortnite Llama. We're going to be drawing this character facing towards the left. So let's get started with the eye on the top left side of our page. So from the inside corner of the eye, we're going to curve up and over towards the right. Let's go back to the same starting point and angle up and out. Now I'm going to do a little overlap on the end. So we're going to step in and draw a curve from top to bottom. Let's add the pupil and iris. About halfway along this line, we're going to curve down and then over toward the left. And then along the top, we're going to draw a small half circle. From here, we're going to draw on the front edge of the face. So stepping up and over towards the left, we're going to draw the top of the head. Curving up and then out. From that same front point, we're going to angle down along the front of the head. Now we're going to go across towards the beak. Now we're just going to flatten off the end. Come down with a slight angle. Now let's draw on the top edge of the mouth. From that same point, we're going to angle up and out towards the right. Now we're just going to do a hard turn going up towards the eye, towards the corner of the mouth. Let's add a circle for the hinge. From the end of this line, we're just going to curl around, draw that circle. Draw a smaller circle on the inside. From this top point, we're going to angle down towards the bottom top edge of the mouth with a straight line for the edge of the strap. We're going to step over and just thicken up the strap on the outside. From the bottom of the circle, I'm just going to curve out the lower part of the jaw. Come down and then curve out towards the left. Now I'm going to go straight across towards the jaw, going up. Now we're going to go up. We're going to change the direction. We're going to go up towards the back of the head. Now let's connect these 2 points with a curve for the back of the head going out and then down. We're going to add a strap across the back of the head. Starting up here, we're going to follow that same line, coming down from the back of the head down towards the lower part of the jaw. I'm going to add a trim along the back of the head. From this top point, we're going to step in, follow that same curve of the head down towards the strap. Now we're going to draw on the front edge of the head. Starting from this point, we're going to go straight across towards the left. Now we're going to take this point here and draw that same length line going across. Now let's connect these 2 points with the same curve that we have in the front. Now we're going to do the same thing to these 3 points. Starting up here, we're going to go straight across, connect these 2 points with an angled line. Now let's go down towards the beak. Going straight across. We'll connect these 2 points with the same angle line that we have on the inside. Now at the front, we're going to go straight across. And we're going to take that same angle line and draw it on the outside. We're going to add 2 slits for the nostrils. Leaving a gap along the top, we'll draw 1 line coming down an angle, step to the outside, and do the same thing. Now we're going to draw the outside edge of the strap. Taking this line, we're going to follow it across the face. Now we're going to draw on the inside of the mouth. Taking this point, we'll go straight across. Now we're going to curve up and in underneath the top of the head. Let's add in the tongue. From this line, we're going to step in, curve in the opposite direction towards the tip of the tongue. Now we're going to curve this back, going up and then out towards the back of the mouth. Let's add a couple fangs. On this point, we're going to draw an upside down V, going up and then down. We'll do the same thing with the inside. Let's go to the top and do 2 fangs going downward. From this point, we're going to step in, draw a V. From this point, we'll step in and draw that same sized V. Now let's go to the back of the head and draw on the 2 horns. Starting from this point, we're going to angle up and out towards the right. Now we're going to taper down in behind the head. Now I want to give this some thickness. So we're going to take that point, draw a straight line going across. Now I'll follow that same angled line going in behind the head. Let's draw the same thing in the back. Starting from the outside point here, we're going to follow that same angled line, going up towards the top. We'll go across with a short line. Now I'm going to pull it in behind the head with that same angled line. Go back to the top. Now we're going to taper this in behind the front horn. Now that we completed the head, let's work our way down the body, starting with the neck. Starting from the back of the head here, we're going to curve over towards the left, and then come straight down, and then just hook it back over towards the right. Then from here, we're going to move over towards the left and draw on the arm. So let's start with the top of the arm. Starting up here, we're going to come down, curve over towards the left. Now we're going to overlap the forearm. Stepping back, curve over that line, and up towards the wrist. Let's draw 2 fingers curling down. Take the top of the wrist, we're going to round this out, curl back down towards the tip of the finger. Now we're going to taper this back up towards the second finger. Let's add the second finger on top. Stepping up, curve down over that line and back. Then we're going to taper that back up. Let's separate out the nail. Starting on the outside finger, we're going to curve up and then down. Do the same thing with the inside. Now we're going to add the palm in behind this finger. Starting in here, we're going to curve around and then up. Now let's draw on the outside of the arm. We're going to step down, curve down and over towards the elbow. Now we're going to follow that same curve going up towards the top of the arm. Now on the side of the body here, I'm going to add that large box. Starting from this point, I'm going to angle out with a straight line. Now I'm going to come straight down. Starting with the inside, we'll come straight down towards the bottom. Go to the outside. Now I want to make this line a little bit longer so we can connect these 2 points with that same angle. Now we're going to draw on the top of the box. Starting from the inside, we're going to angle up and out. Do a hard turn going up towards the top. Let's do the same thing with the inside. Going out and then going up. Connect these 2 points with a straight line. I'm going to take this line out here, straight down. I want to make sure that this line is higher than the one on the inside. I'm going to connect these lines with an angled line going up. Let's add a little bit of detail to the box. We're going to start down here with a half circle, going up and then down. We're going to add a small circle on the inside. I just want to trace the face of the box on the inside. Starting from the top corner, leave an even space gap around. We're going to go in behind this hinge, continue on the right side, and then we'll go up. Now let's add that arrow on the inside. Start from the top, angle down towards the left, and then the right. We'll come in with a short line, come straight down towards the bottom, and then close off the end with a straight line. Now I'm going to tuck the wing in behind the neck. So we start up here on the side of the neck, just up above the box. We start with a curve going out and back in. We do another curve going out and then up towards the top. I want to add a little socket for the hook. Curving around. Now from here we're going to go straight up with an angled line, and then we'll curve over towards the tip of the wing. Let's take these 2 points and connect them towards the center point, going up and then down. Now let's trace out the inside of the wing. Starting from the tip, we're going to taper in, come straight down with an angled line. I'm going to follow the same curve, coming down, back in. Now we're going to come down. We're going to go a little bit thicker as we come in behind the neck. Now let's add the outside of the wing. Starting from the tip, we're going to curve in and then down. Do that again, curving in and then down. Now I'm just going to pull this in behind the box, curving in and then in behind. I'm going to connect this point to the outside with a curve, going up and then down. We'll do the same thing up here. Taking this point, curving up and then down. Now let's move back to the front and draw on the front profile edge of the body. We start just underneath the jaw, curve out, down in behind the hand. We're going to continue the bottom of the hand, coming down and over. From the bottom, we're going to draw a straight angled line going up to the front edge of the body. Now I'm going to follow this curve going in behind the head, but we're going to taper it so the spacing gets narrower as we come up. Now we're going to draw the left arm in behind the body. Let's start up here, lining up the shoulders, curve down and out. Now we're going to draw in the hand. Starting down here, we're gonna step over, curve up towards the hand. We're gonna round out the first claw. Rounding this out, and then hooking this back in. Let's draw the inside of the hand. We're gonna taper it up. Now we're gonna draw on the thumb, curving in the opposite direction towards the tip of the thumb. Now we're gonna hook that back up. Let's draw the second finger in behind. Starting up here, we're gonna curve up, and then hook down. Now we're gonna taper this in behind the front finger. Let's separate out the claws, drawing a curve along the tips of each finger. Now we're gonna add in the back of the palm and the bottom of the arm. So in behind this finger, we're gonna curve in, down behind the thumb. Now right here, we're gonna curve down and then in behind the body. Now let's move down here and draw on the front leg. We're gonna start on the side of the box, curve out the thigh, round it out, and then just pull that back. And then from this bottom point here, we're gonna angle up in behind the thigh. Now down here, the thigh is gonna overlap the foot. So we step over, start with the first toe, curving down. Now I'm just gonna taper that back up with a short line. Let's do an overlap, stepping up, curve over that line and down, and then just hook that over. We'll do this one more time. Stepping up, curving down. Now I'm gonna curve the bottom of the foot, going over and up towards the heel. From the heel, we're gonna round this out, and then come up towards the body. Let's separate out the toes. Starting on the inside, we're gonna curve around, just along the tips of the toes. Now we're gonna take this leg and duplicate it in behind the body. Starting underneath the elbow, curve out, and then just underneath that corner of the body, we're gonna add those toes. Stepping out, start with the first toe. Taper that back in, do that overlap for the second toe, and then the third toe will come down. Now this is just gonna pull up in behind the body. Let's separate out the toes. Now we're gonna move to the back and draw on the tail. So from the back of the heel, we're gonna step down to create an overlap. We're gonna curve out and then up. Now I just wanna wave this all the way up towards the tip of the tail. Curving in and then back out. Now before we come back in, I wanna draw on the back. So on the side of the box, right down here, curve out and then down. Now let's take the tail, we're gonna taper in behind this line. So it gets thicker. Coming down, now we're just gonna pull that in behind that line. Let's add the flame on the tip of the tail. So we're gonna move back, curve out, in, and then out. Now I'm just gonna do a tapered line coming in. Now I'm gonna curve in the opposite direction, curving around towards the right. Now we're gonna do a swirl, coming down and then up. Let's come back down, curving out, and then in towards the tip of the tail. We're gonna taper this back out again, and I'll pull this in behind the tail, just along the bottom. Now I just wanna move back to the front. I wanna add a seam across the neck. Starting at the top of the arm, we're gonna angle down and in towards this line, and we're gonna angle up behind the arm. Going up, and we'll continue on the outside. Now one final thing I want to do is I want to take this wing and flip it over in behind the head. So we're going to line up this spike. Out here we're going to start with a curve going up. We're going to add that little socket, curving around. Now let's connect these 2 points towards a center point of the spike. Now from here we're going to curve out towards the tip of the wing, going up and then down. Now let's work our way back in. Just tapering in towards the spike. And then we'll curve down and in behind the head. Now we're going to take the tip of the wing and curve in behind the head, coming in and then down. We're going to continue in behind the mouth and then go across and then in behind the jaw. And that's pretty much it. There we have it. There's our Charizard and Llama fusion. I hope you enjoyed today's art challenge. Make sure you subscribe and send me your requests in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.